Hey guys, Scare9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and I know that I already did a live stream revolving around all of these sandbox changes, but I thought because these are such big changes and there's so many of them, I would go ahead and do a recap for all of you guys who missed any of that stream or just want all of this information condensed into one video. So I do want to say before we get started, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Out of the 30 to 40 changes we are getting, there are 2 nerfs. Literally everything else is a buff, which is pretty crazy to think about. I'm very excited for all of this, and honestly, this seems like we're going back towards the good meta in Destiny 1. Not the meta that it currently is, where it's all one-shot sticky grenades and all that annoying stuff, but where it's more fast-paced, there's a lot of people moving around at the same time, and honestly, it's just more interesting to play, and definitely going to be more interesting to watch as well. So to start off, respawn and revive timers were tuned in all game modes. I'll go ahead and put all those values on screen. There isn't anything too significant, but once again, it will help make the game more fluent and more quick. Next, power ammo respawn timers have been adjusted across the board, meaning in every single game mode, you will now get power ammo more frequently in the game, and in addition to this, enemy players will now drop their power ammo on death. However, unlike in Mayhem where only the person who actually got the kill gets to pick up the heavy, this heavy brick will actually be able to be picked up by any player on either team. We get some footage later that I'll show you guys in this video where essentially you run over to the heavy and you can hold X to pick it up. You don't just pick it up like a normal ammo thing. You have to hold X, but any player in the game can run over to where that player died and pick up their power ammo. Now, the next thing is that they actually are removing the radar entirely from the Trials of the 9, as well as from the competitive playlist. They're doing this so you actually have to use skill to know where your enemies are. You know, you have to use more teamwork, communication, that type of stuff. So you will be able to get flanked more easily, but this also means if you are a better player, you will be able to go around and make better plays, do good flanks, and take on enemies in situations that you normally would not be able to do so with a radar. So that's actually everything regarding individual game modes and changes that are happening there. Everything from this point on actually has to do with individual classes or weapon types or anything like that. So the first thing actually has to do with the movement system. Once again, they are trying to make the game a lot faster, so all 3 Warlock glides plus the Titan's catapult and strafe lift jumps have been retuned and buffed to make them faster and more unique. The mobility stat range has been expanded and completely retuned as well. Essentially, everyone gets faster with a higher mobility, and the higher end is faster. And then the player's ground speed cap has been increased, meaning that you can move faster at your fastest. Now, the Arc Strider, Sentinel, and Striker all will move faster in addition to this, but they all move at the same speed as one another, but only while you are in your super. So ideally, you will no longer be able to outrun an Arc Strider or a Striker, meaning that they won't be able to be rendered essentially useless. The next thing has to do specifically with Arc Strider. As a whole, it is performing well in PvP, but they did actually want to increase its utility while you are using the Arc Strider super itself. So now, while in your super, you have a faster attack animation, a faster dodge animation, and all of your attacks now have an extended range. Now, going along with this theme of keeping things moving fast and increasing the overall speed of the game, the previous shoulder charge nerf will actually be reversed, meaning that you will be able to use shoulder charge as a mobility tactic once again. So those are all of kind of the specific things having to do with the speed of the game. Everything from this point out is more or less just balance. So the first thing, Dawnblade has actually been improved finally. You have a reduced cost for throwing swords while in your super, meaning that you can have an additional sword throw, which is pretty cool. The Everlasting Fire perk will actually now extend your super even more. They reduced the cooldown of Icarus Dash, and they increased the grenade and melee energy heat rises gives you per kill. Now, I don't know if these small changes will do a great deal to make Dawnblade more viable. I really hope they do, because this is honestly probably the least powerful super in the game, and I would very much like to see it more powerful, so I hope that these changes are enough. The next things have to do with invisibility and Night Stalkers. I'm so incredibly happy with these changes. There is nothing more annoying to me than running around in the Crucible and running into a team of 4 Night Stalkers, just throwing grenades everywhere and going invisible, so these changes definitely make me very happy. First off, invisibility on dodge no longer breaks your aim assist, which is honestly the best change they could have made. There's nothing more annoying than a hunter going invisible and then you can no longer shoot him because your controller doesn't track him. On PC, this is obviously not a big deal at all because there is no aim assist, but there is a reason that controllers have aim assist, because it is very difficult to aim with them otherwise. Now, dodging still breaks the aim assist and projectile tracking stuff, but only for the duration of the actual dodge, meaning that whenever they complete the animation and go invisible, you will still be able to shoot them. However, to kind of account for this, they did increase the duration of invisibility on Night Stalker Hunter defenders by 1 second. Now the next changes are really crazy and I'm very excited for these. The first one is that supers now recharge faster for everyone in every game mode. Supers now recharge a whole minute and 40 seconds faster. You will get your supers back nearly 2 minutes more quickly, which is just insane. That is a huge change. I cannot wait to see how many supers we can get per game now. This just seems like a very, very big change. And then mods that reduce grenade, melee, and class ability cooldowns have been buffed to allow up to 2 times faster cooldowns, meaning that you can essentially get 2 times as many grenades, melees, and class abilities if you are running the correct mod setups. So all of these things have been really big changes. I'm very excited for all of it. I'm really looking forward to different subclasses like Dawnblade to be brought up to par, and it will bring Night Stalker down, helping them be a little bit less annoying while still remaining competitive. I'm very excited for this. I personally think Arcstrider is going to be one of the best classes in the game. They will be nearly untouchable while in their supers. They will have great grenades. They will be able to do a large amount of damage while not being able to be hit very much, making them essentially the equivalent of Arcblade back in Destiny Year 1 vanilla. So because of this, I would definitely keep my eye out on the Arcstrider subclass because I'm pretty sure they're now going to be one of the most competitive subclasses in the game. Now going on from here, we actually have a lot of changes to specific weapon types and specific weapon perks. So to start off with, pulse rifles will now do more damage in PvE. They have now increased the rate of fire for adaptive and high impact pulse rifles and increased the base damage for both of these and rapid fire pulses. They also increased the precision multiplier for lightweight pulse rifles, and finally they have decreased the precision multiplier for adaptive pulse rifles. Essentially, this will help bring all pulse rifles back into the competitive range, making them have faster time to kills and hopefully making them more useful in a wide variety of situations. Next up is going to be scout rifles. Every single scout rifle in the game now does more damage while in PvE activities, and the base damage for high impact scout rifles actually got increased as well. Next up is hand cannons. Once again, they got an increased PvE damage all across the board. Then they got an increased precision multiplier for precision hand cannons, which are already the ones that can 3-tap. Then Bungie decided to go ahead and increase hipfire accuracy and ADS accuracy, but only on the consoles. So hopefully this will help restore hand cannons back to their former glory. If you guys don't know, on PC they are pretty much top tier because of the lack of bloom and recoil. However, obviously on consoles they needed some work, so I'm hoping that all of this is definitely going to help in the long run. The next subclass of weapons that got addressed is actually sidearms. They all get increased PvE damage, increased hipfire accuracy, increased aim down sight accuracy, increased amounts of reserve ammo, and an increase to minimum range. And in addition to this, every single sidearm now grants you an additional movement bonus while aiming down the sight. Next is going to be SMGs, where once again they got increased PvE damage. Their optics got retuned a little bit, and then they also have more reserve ammo as well. Next we have linear fusion rifles. They got increased PvE damage, increased precision hit damage, and increased aim assist, and whenever you're getting shot while using a linear fusion rifle, you will now flinch less. Next are shotguns, which get increased PvE damage, increased inventory size, meaning you can hold more ammo with it, and then increased aim assist for the precision shotguns of the Suros variety. Next, sniper rifles also got increased PvE damage, increased precision hit multipliers, meaning you will do more damage whenever you hit a critical shot, increased aim assist, and you can hold more reserve ammo. Grenade launchers get increased blast radius, and then finally are assault rifles, which get one of the only 2 nerfs in this entire patch set, which is actually only going to affect the precision autos like the Uriel's Gift, and these will get decreased range and aim assist stat values. So there's a whole lot of stuff I like in all of these changes, definitely a lot of things I was hoping to see. I got to see something I was really hoping for, and I really do think it will pan out this way, that sidearms and sniper rifles will now become more viable. I definitely think that pulse rifles and hand cannons are going to be top tier weapons now, and honestly I cannot wait to see how the rest of these changes affect everything else. And for the final changes, there's going to be very specific perk changes. High impact reserves, which is essentially glass half full, makes it so that you do increased PvE damage now. Kill clip also got a boost to PvE damage. Rampage does more PvE damage and lasts longer. Dragonfly got increased damage, increased radius, and has stronger visual effects, so essentially Dragonfly got turned into Firefly from Destiny 1. The perk Grave Robber reloads half your magazine instead of a third of it. Time Payload, which I believe is only on like 1 weapon in the game, splits the damage 55 to 45 instead of more on the direct side, just meaning you will do more damage with the explosion. And then finally, explosive rounds actually now does decreased amount of damage. However, since you are doing more damage all across the board with every weapon type, this has actually been offset, so you won't actually be doing less damage. So honestly, that is almost every single change that is going to be happening with the March 27th Sandbox update. I'm super excited here. Nothing here jumps out at me and screams that this is a bad idea. Everything on this list is a very solid change. I cannot wait to play with all of it. I think the supers are going to be more balanced. I think the guns are going to be more balanced. I think the perks are going to be way more balanced. And honestly, I think Crucible is going to be more fast-paced, more entertaining, and honestly, I cannot just wait to jump in and play a hell ton of it. Now, the very final change that they are going to make actually won't happen until May, and that is going to be the underlying fix for the sniper rifles. If you guys don't know, while coding and making the game, they actually screwed up something where the sniper rifles visual models do not appropriately react to flinch, and so they're working really hard to fix this, but because of that, they actually have to go in and redesign all of the sniper rifles, which obviously is going to take a little bit of time, so it will not be ready for March. However, at the very end of this week at Bungie, they actually did include a clip that shows this change in action, or at least the kind of iteration of the fix that they are currently on. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, but essentially the snipers are going to be much more viable in the Crucible now. So yeah, looking at that clip, sniper rifles are going to be insane. I really hope they're not overpowered, but I definitely want the people who are good enough to use them to be accurately rewarded. But honestly, that's going to be the entirety of all of the changes to the Sandbox. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. Let me know your favorite change coming down in the comment section below. I'm very interested. I cannot wait to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. In the meantime, if you guys are interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed for more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.